I have relocated here, there have been 8 transgender women of color who have been shot.
Welcome to another episode of J Inclusive. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, and set your notifications on so you are alerted every time I upload. In 2021, there were 25 anti-LGBTQ bills enacted, including 13 anti-transgender laws across 8 states. Overall, there were more than 130 anti-transgender bills introduced across 33 states.
One was supposed to be quarantining and staying at home, that homicides would go down, but that was not the case at all.
I'm in my house studying upstairs in my room, and I hear a ruckus outside. I look outside, and I see in front of me a melee, just fighting and people clawing at each other. And some random lady comes up to me and says, who are you? Who the heck are you? And she just hauls off and hits me right in my mouth. And instinctively, I hit her back, and I tried to close my door, and I just couldn't close the door fast enough. And at that point, she tried to force her way in, and she was successful in doing so. But when she came in, others came in behind her. I'm getting mobbed at this point, and I'm getting jumped. And someone picks up a planter that was next to the couch that I was on as I was defending myself, and hits me about my face and my head to the point where I became concussed. And at some point, I stopped feeling the pain. So I started thinking that, oh my goodness, is this adrenaline or am I dying? I can hear my goddaughter screaming, get off of her. I'm being called trainee, and you effing man, you deserve this. My mouth was completely bloody. My nose was running profusely with blood. I had blood coming from my head. I couldn't feel my face at all. A normal person would just call the police automatically, but everyday citizen. But because I'm transgender, because I'm Black, because I live in a no snitch type of environment, that I put myself sometimes at risk by calling 911. I called the police, and exactly what I feared happened. They completely invalidated me. The scars are still there, the physical ones and the emotional, spiritual scars.
That same year, coincidentally, at least 33 Black transgender women were victims of fatal violence in the United States. One of those victims is now just seeing a glimpse of justice in 2025. On September 30th, 2021, around 9:32 p.m., officers responded to an apartment complex in the 1100 block of Stone Trail Road after a resident reported seeing someone slumped over in a parked but running vehicle. The officers discovered the person inside the car, later identified as Kier Solomon. She was transported to an area hospital, where she was later pronounced deceased.
Police in Arlington are investigating the shooting death of a transgender woman found sitting in her own car. 21-year-old Kier Solomon was found at an apartment complex on the city's north side. And as Jason Allen reports, police say they have no strong leads in the case just yet.
A driver pulling into the Madrid Apartments in Arlington Thursday spotted another car in the lot with the door open, the engine running, and 21-year-old Kier Solomon sitting inside.
Officers arrived and found a transgender female in the driver's seat of the vehicle who had an apparent gunshot wound.
Solomon was rushed to a hospital but died in the emergency room. Friday, investigators were still working to find any witnesses, video, and figure out why Solomon was even at the apartments. She lived in Dallas. Her family told CBS 11 she often stayed with a friend and even had a dog in Arlington, but not at the apartments where she was found.
The victim did not have a link that we know of at this time to that particular apartment complex.
Police would not say if there was anything missing indicating a robbery and asked if Solomon's identity could be a factor.
We don't have any information to lead us that that is the case.
I spoke with Solomon's mother and grandmother today. They couldn't make sense of this. They're just waiting on detectives here to try to figure out who Solomon was communicating with last night before the shooting.
The 21-year-old lived in Dallas with her grandmother. She sometimes stayed with a friend at an apartment in Arlington. And according to her grandmother, Solomon was between jobs, having worked most recently at a staffing agency, but she was eager to find more work to keep up with a car payment. Detectives recovered Solomon's phone from the car, which showed she had been messaging with an unidentified individual via an app about meeting them at the location her body was found. They determined the number used to communicate with Solomon was a temporary number that had been generated by the app. Detectives later learned about another incident that occurred 2 weeks prior, where someone messaged a different victim on the same app and asked them to meet at the same location. During that encounter, the suspect took items from that victim, displayed a gun, and fired a shot at that victim's car. The investigation seemed to be at a standstill, and loved ones began to wonder if this would be another unsolved case of a black trans woman.
Arlington police are looking for a killer tonight, the person who took the life of this young woman. Kier Cartier is part of the transgender community, which has at times been the target of violence. Now, that may or may not have had anything to do with her death. As Morgan Young reports, one community is making sure her life mattered.
There isn't just one thing that makes a person valuable.
Everybody just loved who she was.
Davion Haggerty says his best friend, 21-year-old Kier Cartier, brought value to the people around her.
It still haven't even clicked to me that this is real. Like, I was literally just with her, and it's just 72 hours later, and now she's gone.
Found shot in the driver's seat of her car in this apartment complex parking lot Thursday night. Police say the car was running. The door was open.
I never would have never expected it.
But for the North Texas trans community,
It's like, again, since I have relocated here, there have been 8 transgender women of color who have been shot. 7 of them died.
We don't murder things that we value.
Value, respect.
And clearly, our lives are not valued because people do not think twice to take them.
We just don't know what she could have become, and we'll never know.
Those close to her know. Kier Cartier had value. She mattered.
All the family and friends, all they want is justice and answers.
So they can focus on remembering the value she brought to so many.
In September 2025, detectives received the ultimate break in the case.
We share new developments here at 10. Arlington police telling us they finally have a suspect in a murder from 4 years ago. We first told you about Kier Solomon in 2021. She was found dead in a running car at an apartment complex in North Arlington. Well, police say she was a transgender woman who met someone on an app, but investigators did not name the app. They did say that they were able to generate a temporary phone number and confirm the app was used in a similar shooting at the same location. So fast forward years later, and search warrants for that app led investigators to 25-year-old Arthur Morris Jr. Police say Morris right now is actually serving a 7-year prison sentence for a separate aggravated robbery case. He's expected to be returned to Tarrant County, where he'll be formally charged now with murder.
Numerous search warrants related to the app Solomon and her killer had been using revealed an email address and a cell phone number that detectives were able to directly connect to Morris. Records for that cell phone number placed Morris at the crime scene before, during, and after the murder. This year, I've covered at least one murder of a black trans woman every month, and these are new cases. What about all of the murders that aren't taken seriously by law enforcement? The trans women who have been misgendered in the media? The trans women who have been murdered and unfortunately don't have family or friends looking for them? She deserved a long, full life, one filled with peace, love, and joy. Her story is heartbreaking, but her memory lives on through the people who continue to speak her name, share memories, and fight for justice. Let's never forget her light, her spirit, her smile, and the message her life leaves behind. May she rest in peace.